what are the big beliefs? What are the real power sales beliefs? What are the real power sales beliefs that make a massive difference? I think number one, and this is back to Candace's point earlier, in sales, the price of success is failure and learning, right? You got to get it into your head. I don't know of any business that genuinely, from lead to close, has a better than 50% success rate. I don't know of any business, right? When you're realistic about it, when you actually put all the real leads that could have potentially become clients into the CRM. I know that your CRM might say we have a 67% conversion rate, but if you really went back a little bit further, I doubt that, right? And so therefore, as a salesperson, I've got to fail more often than I succeed, which means if I can't convert failures into learning, and that's the price of success, then I've got a real problem. And I think you need to make sure that when you onboard people, that you really give them some understanding of just how often they're going to have to fail. And this is one of the things I love about the RPOA guys, and I love the way that Jeremy and Kristen run the business. They are so clear about how many times you have to fail to succeed. Like, they've got stats and data and evidence and proof around that. And fundamentally, they make it very easy for people to believe that it's worth failing. And I put that in inverted commas because to me, it's not failing, it's just progressing towards the opportunity. And I am learning, and that's my path to success. So you've got to train that into your people. And it's, it's interesting because most people they don't get so excited about failing, right? Next belief, the way I sell makes a difference to the buyer's behavior and my results. You've got to believe that you've got power and control. And it scares me so much, all of this rubbish, and I'm calling it rubbish online, this hyped up, buyers have completely changed, you no longer have control, the buyer's in total control, you're just facilitating the process. Stop listening to it, start challenging it, and remind yourself and your people every single day, yes, buyers have changed the way they're seeking information. Buyers probably expect a little bit more than they did 25 years ago, but we can and absolutely must influence their purchasing behavior. We are not sitting back here waiting for the inquiry and helping somebody buy what they think they need to buy. Get that out of the system. There is always a better way. You've got, if you can train your people to believe there's a better way, there's a better way, there's a better way, that's how you create a culture where people start peer coaching, where people come up with ideas, where people are curious about ways to improve things, where people find that extra 1% to 2%, where nobody feels like they've arrived. Look, guys, 26 years of doing this, doing nothing but sitting in rooms with the best people in the world, and I'm constantly finding better ways in terms of the way I sell. There's always a better way. If you believe that in your heart, you're going to create an amazing business and amazing people, all right? Absolutely. And Candace, love it. My way is not the only way, and my way is not the best way. And by the way, if I think it's the best way, is that the best for me, or is that the best in the industry, or is that the best in the world? Okay? I'm working a proven system. This is a really big one. The more people think they're working a proven system, the more they'll follow the system. But if you can't prove to me the system works, and if you haven't got good evidence on that and good data on that, then it's going to be much harder for you to keep me committed because I'm not going to believe I'm working a proven system. And if you believe your people are working a proven system, you're much more likely to put the time, the effort, and the energy into coaching the system and coaching them to work the system. Now, once again, Jeremy, I think some of Jeremy's seminars around the way that him and the team are running the business and the way they work the system and the stats and data they've got on, if you make 19.138 calls, you will get out a quote. Or is it, I'm not sure whether it's a quote or whether it's a conversion, as in you'll get a new client. But he's got it down to that absolute data. And so there's no doubt in my mind that if I work that system, I'm going to achieve those results. I now just have to figure out whether I'm personally committed enough to work the system hard enough to get the most out of it. So the way you coach people, how systematic that coaching is, how structured that coaching is, how consistent that coaching is, how much evidence you've got to prove that what you're coaching works, whether you're leveraging live calls and real calls and listening to how people do stuff, or you're just kind of talking about the vibe. These things tell people and cause them to believe or not believe that they're working a proven system. And if you want to get someone through that 3 to 6 month period and you want them to go, 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 the more they believe they're working a proven system, the more successful they're going to be. I'm an ex-McDonald's kid, and I always talk about the first day as a 40 plus years ago when I walked into McDonald's, they pulled out the 1.5 page sheet on how to mop a floor effectively, and 3 hours later, I was a world-class mopper of floors. And 40 years later, I'm still pretty damn good at it. All right, so proven system. I matter to my boss. I matter to my boss. There was an amazing study, the Hawthorne study, which is quite old now, but researchers were testing whether or not turning the lights up in a factory would improve productivity. So they sent a bunch of people in white lab coats in there and turned the lights up, and they observed work and productivity increased. Then they went, well, we have to test the opposite of this. So they turned the lights down in another factory, people in white lab coats went in there and observed, and productivity increased. And when they analysed it, they found that people said to them, well, I never thought my job mattered. It's just that when those people came in and started observing what I was doing and asking me about it and measuring it, I felt like it mattered more and I mattered more. So I just felt motivated to work harder. So often we don't dedicate the time to observing people and engaging them at a deep level and really buying into their performance and success and meeting them and engaging them as the human and the potential that they are instead of the problem that they're causing. And because of that, people don't think they matter. I'm progressing and I'm achieving outcomes that matter. One of the real successes I had last time I had a bigger team, I've now got a predominantly outsourced team, but when I had 25 people, we used to catch up every Friday and we would talk through the win of the week, and every person would share a win of the week. And on Friday night, when people went out to their families and their friends and to drinks, they had 25 examples of people winning inside the business, and they felt great about the outcomes they were achieving and the people around them were achieving. And the number one thing that will determine whether people are engaged in their work and committed to their work is whether they perceive they're progressing. And then what I sell makes a genuine difference. Now, I've left this till last deliberately. What you do is noble. What you sell is noble. What you do makes a huge difference in people's lives. So I'm a massive believer in the power and the importance of insurance. But people, first and foremost, are self-interested. So whilst that will motivate your salespeople, and it is absolutely a belief that you must create, and you must reinforce every single week. You must talk about claims that are made. You must talk about happy clients. You must talk about the difference that made in people's lives. It's not the only belief that you need to promote. So those are the beliefs that I believe matter. So look, just to sum up, if you want a business full of achievers, you've got to focus on coaching believers. And I hope that I've committed you to that and made you believe that.